you're having a great weekend. As you all know, the week just closed yesterday, and you know how we do it on my channel. I'm here to give you forex insights for next week and what I did last week that made me a little bit of money. So let's just get started. So as we can see, as we all know, GU is on an uptrend, but currently from this day, June 2025, we have been seeing a sideways movement. I've been seeing a huge range. So let's just go down to the daily time frame and break down that range. Yeah, this is the range bound, the resistance, and the support zone. And from here, we have been seeing this range from May 2025 instead. This was the first push to the resistance, then came back. The second push, it came back, broke a bit, but it was a fake out, and we saw the price back into the range. Same thing happened here, broke out, but that was a fake out. We saw the sellers again taking the price downwards. So the market has reacted 3 times at this resistance, and also 4 times at the support zone and 3 times at the resistance. So starting from the last reaction, let's analyze the market and see what we have currently. So this is it. This is the high. The first drawdown we got, the first low we can see. Then the sellers taking it to the upside to retest this supply zone. Then we saw a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, a lower high there, then the last lower low that we can see before this structure change and before this correction pattern and the break off and the change of character. So let me highlight that out. Hold on. This was the break of structure and the change of character. So what have we been seeing? So that the market went up a bit, then retraced, giving us a correction pattern and a value break of structure to the upside, thinking it will continue, but no, there was a supply zone right here that made the market sell from this place. And as you can see, the selling pressure, it was a massive selling pressure after this little range from the daily time frame. That is how many days of range? About a week of range. Then we saw the drop. Now this drop caused a change of character to the downside. That is a bearish change of character currently, and this should be the information that we should be using. So I would say this is my external high and external low. Then the rest in here should be the minor structure. Don't forget, we are on a bullish trend on GU, but currently on a range bound. Since last year, since May last year, we have been range on GU. Likewise DSY. If you go to the dollar, you will see the same thing. So this is the information I'll be using. This break of structure and the change of character, because that's my main focus. So let me go down to the 4 hours to check our immediate break of structure and change of character, the zones that caused it. So seeing this break of structure, we had a retracement down to this place and we couldn't get a new break of structure to the upside, but we saw the sellers taking over, brought it down to this zone. We saw the reaction from the buyers, but there was a lot of selling pressure and the sellers were able to break down below and taking the market downwards. So technically I would say I would take this place to be my last lower high and the lower low. Yeah, this is it. This was the zone that caused this change of character. Using my fib level, I could see that okay, this price retraced after getting to this price at the bottom. The price retraced to tap my 78 fib level before the first sale happened. This is a minor trend currently, don't forget. Now there's a difference between the minor trend and the major trend. From this high to this low is my external structure. Then all this inside here are the minor trends. I hope you guys understand why we are currently bearish on gold because of the range, and also what we can see from the technicals, the current change of character and the retest. So all I can see is that okay, price tested my 78 fib level at this zone, and there was a supply zone here too that price tested. You can see the displacement after this little build up. You see the candlestick, there was a huge pressure. So this is a valid supply zone. What can we see? A high, a low, higher low, then the higher high that touched my psychological level before the push to the downside. And this push to the downside, hold on, I think my network is disturbing. Okay, we are back. This push to the downside caused a minor change of character. And this minor change of character led to this whole retracement to tap into my 78 fib level zone again. All of this before we saw this huge push to the downside. And that huge push was based on the NFP news that happened on Friday last week. This news, I traded that news due to the reason was that I understood what the market was about to do last week, so I just took advantage of it and got an entry. I will share that with you. Hold on. So what can we see currently? The market tested at this zone and we saw the reaction. This recent drop gave us a break of structure, which is very clear. Now we have a lower low, but this is a minor trend, don't forget. Here are the major external trends. So from this minor trend, what we can see, or where we should be expecting to take our next sale is this supply zone right here. I can see a valid supply zone at this place that caused this huge displacement. So as soon as the market opens next week, I'm not certain yet where this price will get to. Hold on. This is my 4-hour zone, the purple bar. So currently, I'm not certain if this market would reverse from here to tap our supply zone before selling, or it might just come to this zone then buy to this other supply zone before we see the seller reaction. So we just have to be patient. And I think this zone is a strong zone because this is a psychological zone that price retraced from. So getting to this place, I think there will be a buying reaction here. Yeah, I think there will be, surely there will be buyer's reaction at that zone. So let's just see, and let's just watch out for this. And how I got my entry last week was, okay, this was what I did. Seeing all of this, because I knew that because I knew that if the market couldn't break above this retracement level here, and also even though it breaks above this place, and once it couldn't break above this last lower high, I knew that okay, we are still on a downtrend on gold, on GU. So I just had to place my trend line, my counter trend line. I waited. You see, that's why you have to be very patient at times. When I drew this trend line at first, I was seeing a third touch, but I knew that okay, NFP is coming that Friday and everything might be uncertain, so I just had to be patient and wait. I waited after the NFP news. I knew that okay, the NFP employment rate to be very high due to the fundamentals and everything. And actually it came out very high, and GU dumped, closed the 4-hour candle very bearish. You can see the full candle close. There was no wick. This shows a lot of pressure. I had to wait for a retracement. I just went down to my 1 hour. I went down to my 1 hour and got a little sell. That sell was about 1:2, 1:3. Yeah, thereabout. Excuse me. So this was the sell. I think I used 20 pips a sell and 38 pips. Yeah. Got a little sell. This was not my setup and I didn't want to extend my hands. And also it was on Friday. So even though I knew that okay, the market will, let me show you guys something on DSY. Yeah, so y'all can see this build up right here. You can see this accumulation. This is what I saw on DSY that made me had strong motive to sell GU. This was a build up, and as soon as I saw the breakout, this bullish breakout, I knew that okay, there was no way that after all these stuffs and finally we got a breakout, this market will just stop here. There would be a buying pressure that would take this market, if at all, a few pips above. So that was what I had in mind when selling GU, but I didn't just know where the price would get to, or where the buy or the sell we get to. So I just had to close as soon as I saw profit that I'm satisfied with. Yeah, that was a good one last week. So this week, what we should be expecting, nothing less a retracement to this supply zone before another dump, or maybe just if there's still much pressure, we could just see a breakout first of all before the retracement and the dump. So let's watch out for that and see what will happen by next week. Don't forget we are currently on a downtrend due to the range bound on GU. So yeah, this is what I'll be looking out for on GU next week. This zone should be my psychological zone, my POI that I'll be looking out for. This has already been tapped, but this hasn't, so I'll be waiting as soon as the market gets here to dump the market to the downside. Let's quickly go to gold. I also had an entry on gold last week. I took 2 trades, one on gold and one on GU. It was all profit, but even though it wasn't much, I appreciated it though. It's better than having a loss. Some week you end with break even, but I haven't had above 1% of my account, so yeah, I'm good. What can we see on gold? We all know that gold currently is on a downtrend, and it's obvious this is a low, and we got this high and a reaction here, and we got this huge pump to the upside, getting to 5,600 thereabout before this reversal, and we saw the push, the break, and currently we are seeing a downward movement on gold. Let's go to the daily time frame quickly. From the daily time frame, what can I see? Yeah, you can see a supply zone that this market reacted to. Hold on, let me change my daily bar. The blue bar is my daily bar, and this is the resistance. The first one is the resistance. You can see the supply zone that this price reacted to before selling, and also the support zone that reacted to this support. We held it here at the first place, then was able to break above, turned the resistance into support, brought to the upside, retraced but couldn't get to the zone, and we saw a sharp rejection to the upside again, then the fall off. This was a very deadly fall off. We saw the sell, and this zone here was the current lower high that caused all this drop. Using my fib to understand what this whole thing is doing, placing my fib from the lower high to the lower low, I can understand that okay, this market got to a 61% fib level before reacting, and that's a good zone. Seeing that, I knew that gold would be coming to this take profit level, being 4,100. I said that last week on my channel. If you are watching my video, if you're following me, or if you have been following up, yeah, this was a change of, hold on, after the first push, yeah, this was a valid change of, yeah, that's right. This was a valid change of character. Since we have been seeing lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower lows. So what can we see? We just have to go down to the 4 hours and understand what's happening at this very place that we see. So let me go down to the 4 hours. What can we see? After price tapped at that 4,100 level, we saw a sharp retracement to the upside, and we have been seeing consecutive higher highs and higher lows. Is a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we had all this reaction. Well, since this was our recent lower high that caused since this zone here was our recent higher low that caused the higher high, the price just reacted around the 78 fib level and went back to the upside, but couldn't give us an immediate break of structure. Then we saw the sellers reacting, but there wasn't enough strength for the sellers. Then we saw this huge buying pressure that caused the break of structure. Hold on. We shouldn't forget there's a zone here. Okay. Just to make it very clear. Then doing like that. That was a breakout structure, and from there we saw the sellers reacting aggressively. This was the first push, but couldn't break or couldn't close this candle below this other last higher low. We saw the rejection, but buyers went strong enough, sellers took over. Finally, we got the change of character at this zone. Can use here. Because that was the immediate change of character. Yeah. Then from there we saw sellers taking over. This was a lower high, equal low, a lower high, then we break to the downside, lower low. We got the retracements and the last push to the downside. Hold on, let me highlight it. This was the last break of structure that we see on the 4 hours time frame. Now, what do we see next? We saw buyers taking over, breaking above this high, giving us a change of character to the upside. You see the way I'm breaking this down? That's how you should, when you analyze it, that's how you should read the market, read every candlestick to know what the market is actually doing. If you miss the structure, I bet you, man, you are doomed. So yeah, this is the change of structure that we had. We saw the retracements. I even took a trade here because that day, I think that was the last 2 weeks, it was clearly an inverse on the 2-hour time frame. I took a buy from this zone and I took my profit at this price here, at that peak price. That was a good trade. Yeah, we saw the huge sales, but this sell couldn't give us a lower low, it gave us an equal low instead. Created a double bottom, and this double bottom with the pressure, buyers came in and gave us a break of structure to the upside. And we could see that buyers has been, reacting, taking the market upward, but they couldn't break above, even after the retracement. This was the retracement. This was the week out. The candle wasn't able to close above this high. If not, it could have caused a break of structure to the upside, and the uptrend would have continued. But there was sellers sitting at this zone here, and that zone is the supply zone right there. Look at the supply zone. This candlestick. Yeah. The price just reacted inside that supply zone, and what we could see was sellers pushing the market down after this whole build up and getting to this correction pattern. Hold on, this is my 4-hour bar. I'm getting to this W pattern that we saw here that caused the break of structure to the upside. We saw buying reaction, but there wasn't enough buyers. The sellers still continued selling the market, and we saw a valid break of structure to the downside. So instead, I'll call it a change of character. Yeah, because this was our last low that caused this break of structure before this build up and the displacement. This displacement caused this change of character right here. So technically, I will take this high, this current high that caused this change of character, to be my recent lower high. So I'll just highlight this. As you can see, currently we are understanding that the market still came down to be a bearish trend. So even after the higher highs and everything, we still saw that okay, the sellers were still very active than the buyers. You see, each time the buyers react, there's always an opposing selling pressure. And on this market, we can see that there are many red candles, sellers are much than the buyers. So what can we see? We saw that the price came to this place, retested, but couldn't get to the top. I even took a trade here last 2 weeks, I think so, yeah, last 2 weeks. I took a sell because using my fib level, I could see that price retested 78 fib level. I took a sell after this bearish engulfing. Hold on, I even went down to the 2 hours. Damn, my network. Okay. I even went down to the 2 hours, wait for a little discount and entered the sell. I was targeting all the way down to this zone, but I took this trade on Thursday, held it through that day, and also on Friday. On Friday, the market was at this place, and I had to close because I don't hold trade over the weekend. I've done that before and I got burnt due to news and due to fundamentals. Yeah, Trump will just come out during the weekend and say something due to the war going on with Iran and Israel, and you just see a huge gap the next week. And actually, that's what happened. If I didn't close that trade, I would have had a loss right there. But yeah, I obeyed my rules and just took my profits. So that was that one. And that message just to let you know that sometimes it's not just all about the profit. You have to obey your rules. The rules matters. And what can we see? We saw the reaction from that resistance zone, the 4 hours resistance zone. Sellers took it down, giving us a new break of structure because it broke down below this low. And we can call this a value break of structure. If you watched my last video, I said that knowing that the price is still on a downtrend, using that fib level on the daily time frame, this zone here, 4,300, should be our first level target. Please hold on. I think my network is I think I'm having an issue with my network right now. Okay, we are back. Yeah. From this lower high on the daily time frame to this lower low, we saw that price was reacting here, and I anticipated that we are likely to see a drop down to this take profit level. That is the 0.0 fib level. But this other zone, due to it being a strong zone, should be our first level target. And we could see that price actually got to that place. Hold on. Because we could see that price actually got to that place and rejected. Look at it, rejected aggressively back to this resistance zone, but couldn't break above, just wicked out. The SMC guys will call this a liquidity sweep. So it just wicked out and we saw this seller pressure coming in. I took a sell here this previous week, last week, seeing that okay, understanding that this market just came to test my 100% fib level. I had to find an entry, and I waited. After these whole sales, the market broke below this structure. What I did was just, okay, the market was here. Coming down to the 1 hour. I saw the market breaking down from this zone, getting to this place. I had to wait for a little retracement because it was obvious that this was building up a head and shoulder pattern, and I waited for the discounts at that zone, placed my SL and took a trade. I was targeting about 1:3, but the price reversed on me. I had to close, seeing this bullish momentum on gold. Hold on, yeah. So seeing this candlestick, the 2-hour candlestick, the inside bar breakout, I knew that okay, the selling pressure was over here. Then I just had to close somewhere. When the market got to this place, I closed. And that night, Asian session, I saw this huge buy to the upside taking me out. Even though I didn't, hit an SL. But yeah, my analysis was fucked up. So I think I didn't get the proper zone for my entry. I would have just waited too. So that's that for that one. What do we see? We saw that price got down here, retraced after breaking this structure. Saw the retracement using my fib level. You see that the price tested 61 fib level, and this is my ideal trade that I do take, but I didn't even see this last week. So the market sold, giving us a minor break of structure. To the downside. Yeah, I saw this and it retraced to this fair value gap right there before this huge dump, and this dump was also due to the NFP that happened last week. So currently you can see that the price gave us a current break of structure to the downside, showing you that okay, we are still on a very bearish trend, and the information I'll be needing right here won't be much anymore, since I know that okay, this zone should be my focus. Here, this reaction was the reaction that caused this whole change of character. So here should be my trading zone. I don't know where this price would get to, so I will just allow it for now till the week open. Maybe it might still push down more before the reversal to this supply zone and the dump. I just have to be patient. I won't be needing these minor structures anymore. I can see that there's a valid supply zone right here. You can see the supply zone. I just have to be patient and wait on what the market will do at the week open. Yeah. So seeing this, I'll be expecting a reaction from gold at this psychological level to dump the market. Mind you, here there's still a valid zone right there, so you have to be patient. Don't just sell as soon as the price gets to this place. You have to wait for selling reaction, or like one to two bearish candlestick. You can see this bearish candle, you can see this one too. So maybe after subsequent 2 4-hour candle, you can take your sell, or maybe just a good bearish candlestick confirmation should let you know that okay, there's still selling pressure because yeah, there's actually a zone there, but you can see that the price is pushing down below that zone, and I'm anticipating that gold should get to this take profit level 4,100 by, let me say, next week or next 2 weeks. I don't know, whenever. So that's that for the gold and the GU analysis. GU on a bearish trend, gold still on a bearish trend. So yeah, currently what I'll be needing on GU should be just my trading range. Okay, this is a break of structure and a change of character, and should be expecting either a tap before the buy, or it just reversed from here. And also, you guys should watch out for this zone. This zone is the 3,000, okay, the 1.33200 level. You know that, like I said, G is on an uptrend, majorly from the weekly time frame and the daily time frame. But however, from I think from the middle of last year, it's ranging. So buying G from here won't be bad too. If you see a good rejection, yeah, you will still be right, because this is just the first time this market reacted to this zone, and the second reaction should, there should be a buying pressure at this zone, so on the 4-hour zone. You should just look out for it. If you see a good rejection candle, you can just take your buys to this zone, or you can just wait, since we know that, okay, it's currently on a downtrend inside the range bound. You can just wait for the retracement and the entry if you are patient enough. But that's what I should be looking at next week. So please, if you see this if you come across this video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I will do this more often, every week, Saturday or Sunday. I will drop my forex insights and what I did that made me money, or what I did that made me lose money. Just being transparent. And also, there's something I want to share. This is TRADERSWAVE platform. This is for journaling trades, and it automatically journal your trades. You just have to log in your account. You can see my profile. So basically, hold on. Yeah. Let me take you guys to the trade history. The network is pissing me off. Yeah, you can see this is all in the trade I took last week and the subsequent week before last week. So you should get this advice. You have this platform for yourself. I will drop the link below also. You can just click on the link and create an account. So that's all. Thank you guys for watching, and have a very nice weekend. Bye.